How's it going, you guys? Damocles here. Today we are talking about whether or not you should summon for Bakugo. Yes, that's right, King Explosion Murder himself. It was just announced by the official developer Twitter that the next banner that's going to be replacing the Tokoyami banner is Bakugo. Now, if you've watched my previous Tokoyami Should You Summon or my Momo Should You Summon, you already know how I feel about these types of banners, but if not, I'm going to go over it anyway. So let's just hop right into it. Now, in my previous videos, I spoke about how they are handling this entire banner situation. It seems like they're releasing these actual unreleased premium characters on like a 2 or 3 week basis with their support cards. And then it seems like, at least what we assumed off of the Momo banner and off the Tokoyami banner, that they are going through all of Class 1A's S characters, and they're going to have basically a weekly rotating banner for those characters. Now, the problem is that unlike the normal Class 1A characters where you can use normal support tickets, with these you can only use premium tickets, which makes it basically not worth it in the slightest bit, considering you can pull them from the standard banner with tickets that you get fairly often. I mean, much more often than you get premium tickets, am I right? So do not go and waste your money on this. But I will just break it down for you exactly how Bakugo works a little bit. Just do a quick overview. Clearly I have him. He's level 80 right now. I haven't bumped him up to level 90. He is a very fun character. If you like Bakugo in the anime or the manga, whatever, and you want to play as him, go to town. If you want to pull, go for it. But as a character, I would classify him as top tier in PvE and probably middle of the pack in PvP. PvE, he outputs a very, very large amount of damage. And when I say PvE, I also mean like AI battle modes, like Super Co-op Battle. I know some of you have definitely played against a Bakugo that just wiped your whole team, and it's because he just does a lot of damage. And so for those of you that don't know how Bakugo works, real quickly, he basically, every time he attacks with any of his abilities, except for his ultimate ability, he builds up sweat, and once his sweat meter hits its maximum, he can release his Q, and his Q will go and do double damage, essentially. So, as you can see here, use your explosive combo and his W&E skills to activate Burst Bullet, and you can do a 4-hit pursuit combo during the activation period. So, you can basically spam his Q, which is just a little cannon, like 4 times in a row, but when your sweat is maxed out, he will do like a special animation and fire it off, do an extra bit of damage. His special ability is Blast Vortex, which basically just makes him move faster, and when he does his auto attack, it kind of makes him home in a little bit more, but it doesn't really help him that much in a PvP scenario. And then obviously, like I just said, when you use high speed charge, he speeds up. So his Q, like I said before, basically has like multiple charges that he can build up, and after you build up all of those sweat glands that he has, he can do a bunch of extra damage, like a ton of extra damage. His other 2 abilities are pretty, not lackluster, but pretty basic. One of them, they're basically just kind of like forms of uppercuts and stuff you've seen from the anime. His talents are pretty straightforward as well. It's basically just all increasing his damage, like literally all the way up. It's just base damage increases, nothing too crazy. He is a very kind of basic character, I would say. He can totally do fine in PvP, but because of how close range he is, I wouldn't really recommend it. Just to show you what his abilities look like real quick before we go. Sorry for the keyboard, but it is what it is. His E just does a little knock up in the air, obviously. Or his W, sorry, it's E on my keyboard. And now his actual E does this, and they can combo real well into each other. And as you can see, my sweat glands aren't at max yet, but if I, whoops, sorry, I just actually lost that. So now that they're at max, if I press Q, he does that, and you can keep pressing it 4 additional times, which does a large amount of damage to the enemy. This is his special ability. It looks pretty cool. Basically makes it so when he attacks, he just kind of goes right into an attack. But other than that, there's really not too much to talk about in regards to Bakugo. As you can see, even his Q, which has some range, doesn't have a ton of range. So he's a character that is definitely close combat oriented, and when you get in close, he can deal lots of damage. In PvE, or in Super Co-op Battle, if you're looking for a character that's going to dish out a ton of damage and you just like Bakugo as a character, then go ahead and pull. But otherwise, I would suggest you avoid these banners in general. They are trap banners. I would highly, highly, highly suggest waiting until the All Might banner leaves to see what the next character is, so that you don't screw yourself and use all of your hero coins summoning for Bakugo as opposed to Stain, Endeavour, Shigaraki, Aizawa, Dabi potentially in the future. You know what I mean? So that would be my suggestion. Again, this is going to be a weekly thing where they release a new S-Rank Class A hero. I'm assuming next week. I think the only other one that they haven't done is Todoroki, right? So I would assume Todoroki is next week, who's another great character, and we'll do another Should You Summon for that. But this is basically Bakugo in a nutshell. There's not too much else to cover. He basically lives within this combo, and he does very cool, he does cool abilities. He does good damage, and obviously he's a fan favorite, but is it worth using your premium tickets on? Absolutely not, people. Absolutely not. So I would save your money, save your coins, and make sure, most importantly of all, hit that like button and subscribe button, people, so that you can stay up to date with all kinds of My Hero Academia The Strongest Hero and Ultra Impact content. That's going to be it for me, guys. I hope this helped you out somewhat. I hope this kind of explained to you why you should or shouldn't pick him up. I guess I can look at the chips real quick just to show you. Just increases his crit rate. You can see he's very, a very straightforward character. So if you like that, then maybe check him out. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I hope you found this video to be informational. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. Damocles out.